All right, so here we have our 2003 Honda Element with a shop here blue and gray interior. And we're going to talk today about removing these dash plastics here and here. There's another little piece right up in there, this piece right here, and that piece right there. And you might say, well, why would you remove that? Well, for this piece here, you got to remove this to get the speedometer cluster out. And as you know, we do a lot of those repairs here at Classic Automotive. But perhaps you would want to do something else with the other plastics, or perhaps you needed to get in there to do something, or you wanted to paint them, or stay tuned to see what we're actually going to do with them. But here we go. We're going to go step by step how to get each panel off. All right, here are some of the tools that you're going to need. You're going to need a Phillips screwdriver. I've got a long one here for the other side. These two tools right here, the same tool. This is a tool that you can get on Amazon. These are Blue Point Snap-on. Let's see, there's the tool number PDF-T10. But that tool is the perfect trim tool. Super thin on the end, super strong, and if you break it, they guarantee it forever. I have two of those because I use those for speedometer clusters. And if you don't have that type of prize tool, maybe you could use this type. But you're going to need all of these tools that I have displayed here. All right, so first, we're going to start off with the little trim tool. And we're going to start right here on this panel here. And we're going to wiggle this thing until it finds a way in. And we'll pop it off, just like that. Lay that to the side. Now for this panel here, this is the panel we're going for. We have one screw right here, Phillips screw. If the door won't open all the way up, you got to have a shorty screwdriver, so try to get in a position where you get the door all the way open to get this in here. Take out the one Phillips screw. Actually, I'm not going to throw it up there. Cut that off. You grab right here and pop. And then I usually grab through the wheel right here. Wiggle, put that down, and then it comes right off. There's the first piece. Super simple. If you were going to take the speedometer cluster out, it's super simple from here. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, a plug here and a plug here, and it's out in your hands. All right, now we're going to pull this piece here. And these pieces, the smaller ones, are probably the most difficult to get out. They take some patience and some time and just a little bit of work, because you got to really see how this tool, that thinness of that tool just kind of slides up in there like that. I'm going to do one end, and I'm going to take that in the gap and move it down until I have two in, and I'm going to work it up just like that. And if you do it right, it literally pops off right in your hand. I used to struggle with these until I started using the two tools. All right, now we're going to go for this part here, and it's similar to the other piece. You just work the one in, and then work the second one in and work it down. Then the two together. They're gonna pop, and they come out, and I didn't break any clips. The tabs are intact. Both clips came out. It's the best way I found to get these small ones out. No screws on this side. The other side has screws. All right, for this side, it's very similar on the outer here, so I'm not gonna show that again. It's the same thing. Take the tool, same exact trim tool, just mirrored on this side, run it around, pop it, run it up, pop it, comes right off. Lay that out of the way. Same on the exterior. I've got one Phillips screw here. We're gonna take that out. Place it to the side. All right, now, the difference on this side is where we just had the one screw over there. If you take your finger and run it under here, right there, you're gonna feel the screw, and right there, you're gonna feel a screw. So we'll take our longer screwdriver to give us a little more access, and we'll take those two Phillips screws out. There's the first one. There's the second one. So two screws, put those to the side. And now the same way we pulled the other one, we'll pull here first, like that. Then I'm gonna run my fingers down here while I'm pulling it here high and low and pull it off together, because I've got a vent over here that I've got to work out. This vent right here. Sometimes this pops off, lots of times it doesn't, but pull out and then wiggle here and then pull together. Now, I've been asked a lot, well, isn't the airbag right here? No, the airbag is actually right here. So doing anything with this doesn't disturb the airbag. Now, you can see all these screws in here. You can take the dash apart here to access the evap, all the HVAC stuff in there. All right, this piece here I would call the most complicated. All right, there are no screws on the end. Just looking at it, it looks just like the other ones. It feels like there's no screws in it, but that is not the truth. And if you wonder how I learned it during the School of Hard Knocks, how to do these. We're gonna take our glove box down by popping in these two clips, both sides. That lets our glove box go down. We're gonna set those to the side. We're gonna take our screwdriver and we're gonna feel up in here. All right, so you're gonna take your hand, stick it right here. You got a lip here. If I could get an angle in there to show you these screws, I would. I always feel them with my fingers. I don't ever look up in there. We've got two of them. In line with this ridge, right here is a screw. In line with this ridge, right here is a screw. That's the best way I can explain. So we'll take our Phillips screwdriver, put her up in there. I've got one finger on my left hand on the screw head and the other hand putting the screwdriver right to the screw head, hopefully. They're not working together right now. There we go. Now I'm gonna angle the screwdriver until I feel it fit perfectly. Then I've got to imagine, because I'm pushing the screwdriver this way, so I've got to loosen going this way. And these screws are usually pretty tight. That one's coming. I'll put my finger up in there just so I don't lose this screw. Had them roll away to nowhere off in the dash before. All right, put that down. There is screw number one. I'm gonna go over here. And if you wonder how I learned this is the School of Hard Knocks. I went to the junkyard and saw a bunch of them broken and noticed, oh, there's some screws up in there with tabs still attached to them because someone did not take the screws loose and ruined a piece of trim. This does have clips on it that hold it in, but by and large, it's the screws that hold it in and keep it from rattling. I wouldn't say you have to have a shorty screwdriver for this. It might make it a tad easier, but there is an indentation, a lip there that you are fighting with. Oh, I'm fighting with the harness. The harness is touching the screwdriver. But I would say this is pretty, I mean, a novice could do this, so don't be afraid. I mean, even though it's taken me some time to do this, and I do them all the time. There's the screw. I'm just going slow so I don't lose the screws. All right, now we've got that loose. So now again, I'm gonna take my two tools and I'm gonna work one right about here until I see, there we go, right there. There's some openings for you to get these tools in. And I'm just gonna start working. You saw it pop on the end. I'm gonna walk till I get another opening, pop again. Pop again, pop again. There it went, right in my hand. Super simple. And if you notice, these tabs aren't broken, these aren't broken. These laid over a little bit, but they're literally made of nothing hardly. And then the blower tabs, everything's good. Now I'm gonna clean all this sand in here out, because that's disgusting. But that's how simple it is to get these dash plastics out. You know, I may have 8 or 10 minutes in this. Obviously I've done a bunch of them, but if you have these tools, or you could use the other forked trim tool that I have, just a couple screwdrivers. I could have probably done it all with just this one, but I like the long one for those uppers here. And then these two. Now if I were reinstalling these, I would start right back here. I'd take that piece of trim, sit it right back up on here, and I would slowly work the clips back in, all right? Because if you get too horsey and kind of hit on it, you slowly work them back in, paying a special attention to these plastic clips here. Work those into their spots, watch them as they go in, make sure everything's started, and then that's it. Now I've got two screws to put in, just both sides, even pressure, pop, it goes right back on. However, that's not what we're gonna be doing. We're going to be putting these parts on. So same principle, find the clips, line it up. Pop it on. All right, now I'm gonna take my 2 screws from the back. And if you're wondering, this is not Hydro Dip. It is not vinyl. This is carbon fiber. Some of you will say, well, it's overlay, it's skin. Okay, it still takes 2.5 weeks pretty much to create a part like this. And I'm just putting the screws in the back, by the way. I'm screwing them in while holding this down with my thumb. You gotta hold it down with your thumb or it won't ever get there. These need to be not super tight, but they need to be pretty tight. Okay, there's that one. This is real carbon fiber overlay. Now, overlay means I took the old part like we just pulled off, I sanded it down, and then I scored it, which means I put a lot of X marks on it, so that the epoxy and carbon fiber had something to grab. Then I epoxied it, I laid carbon fabric on top of it, I epoxied again, sanded it, epoxied again, sanded it, epoxied again, sanded it, epoxied again. So there's probably 3 to 4 layers of epoxy. Then I sand it down 600, 800, 1,000, 1,200, 1,500, sometimes 1,500, depends. And then I clear coat it with 4 coats of clear, using a 2K, 2-part clear coat. And then wet sand that 2,000, 2,500, 3,000. Hit it with rubbing compound. If there are deep scratches, I use 3M Perfected. If there's not, I use Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. And then either way, after that, I use the Meguiar's Ultimate Polish and buff these out and then finish them with a Turtle Wax Hybrid Ceramic coating so that they'll be hydrophobic. That's more specific to the exterior parts. But also the interior, in case I was to spill something in here. I don't really want it to water spot or eat into the clear. So that's part 1. Now that we've done that, we put our glove box back up. Just reverse order. If I can get these to go back in. There we go. The ticket with those is you have to go up in far enough so that the stopper doesn't touch, and then you can come back. Much easier on that side. There we go. There's your glove box. Now, we didn't do just one part. All right, so to put this in, first I'm gonna take this snorkel here for the HVAC and I'm gonna wiggle that in. That's kind of the hardest piece of this, to get that to fall in properly. Try to line the top up. We've got little tabs up here that are alignment tabs. Line it up and then even on both sides. Push in and we're in. Now I've got 3 screws for this. I've got the 2 under here that we talked about earlier and the 1 on the end. And it also has metal clips in the back. These screws are more or less to keep the thing from vibrating because the metal clips are holding pretty good. That screw goes in on the outside, like so. All right, and there you go. We've got this side reinstalled. Oh, forgot this piece. With this piece, I'll show you on the other side, maybe I can get a better angle. But you tuck it in under this rubber first, line up the top plastic tab, and then ease them all in to make sure they're gonna line up while you push in at the bottom. And a couple of good whacks, and it's in there. Nothing with too much force. I'm going to start with the small piece here. It goes like that. And literally on the back, you've just got these 2 tabs here and 2 metal clips here. We're gonna feed these 2 top in, and then good push, that's all it's gonna take. As you do that, roll up, feed it in like this, roll it up, feed it in like this, and then slip in. This cover for the steering column can be in the way, so I've got this loose so I can move it, but roll up like this, tip it in, and fall right in. Again, these parts are only held in with the clips. So alignment, pop the clips in, ready to go. So here, same as the other, kind of tip it in so it fits around these pieces here. Get those top clips in. That's it, it's in there. And the last piece. So for this piece, we roll in like this, line up the top just like we did on the other side. Once we're lined up, just ease it straight back. That's it. We have 1 screw to put in the corner, and then this fascia here, and I'll show you how to do that plastic trim and cover it. 1 screw in the corner here. And with all of these screws, this one, the 4 over there, 5 over there, you don't want to over tighten them, all right? Because there's just a little metal clip, in most instances, some instances just plastic, but there's just a little metal clip in there with 2 tangs that sit like this, and if you over tighten, it just straightens the tang out, and then you have nothing to screw to. So don't over tighten these, it doesn't hold the world together. Same with the cluster, if you pull that out. It doesn't, as my grandfather used to say, it doesn't hold the world together, and they're not head bolts, so they don't need to be head bolt tight. So we take this lip here, and we're gonna feed it behind the rubber, just like that. And then we're gonna take the top tab and line it up, and then walk down. Line the tabs up, walk them all in. And then just a couple motivated taps, and we're done.